Namaste. Hello everyone. Welcome to Shal Gulhati, Shiva and Mysticism for another episode of Monday with Mahadev. Today I'm going to show you yet another Lord Krishna picture and going to talk to you about it. This is one of my favorite pictures of Lord Krishna when he was just a baby, and we see that Shivji Mahadev, who is visibly elder to him, is looking at him with a lot of love and affection, and Yashoda is holding Krishna up for Shiva to have darshan of, to embrace. But this is just the happy ending of that first meeting of Shiva and Krishna. Uh, there is a story behind this. The meeting didn't exactly happen like this. All was not impromptu and hunky-dory that Shivji went to meet Krishna and Yashoda held him up and showed him. Actually, Krishna, who was born in Dwarka, was smuggled out from there across the Yamuna river to Gokul by his father Vasudev and given to Yashoda and Nanda, who were cowherds of that place. He was given to them to raise up and bring up. This was because Krishna's maternal uncle Mamaji was the great emperor Kans, who wanted to kill Krishna because he had been told by some astrologers and some ministers that his sister's son, Devaki's son, will grow up and slay him, kill him. So Kans wanted to kill Krishna, and the moment he was born, Vasudev, his father, smuggled him out, like I just told you. Now, all this time, Mahadev was in Samadhi in Kailash, and in his Samadhi, he was witnessing all this Krishna Lila playing out, the play of Krishna. And he waited for a little time. He waited for Vasudev to deposit Krishna with the Yashoda and waited for another 6 months or a year for Krishna to grow up a little, and then Mahadev could wait no longer. He wanted to go and have darshan of Krishna. He loved him so much. He had known him from lifetimes and lifetimes, much, much before all this. So Shivji finally went and he reached Gokul. He reached the house of Yashoda. He made some queries, where does Yashoda and Nanda live? And he reached that place, knocked on the door, and Yashoda came out and he said, Devi, I need something from you. And Yashoda knew that this is some kind of a sage or a baba or a hermit, and we usually give them some food to eat in their little bowls when they come knocking on our door. So she said, all right, I will get some food for you. So Shiva said, no, I do not want food. I do not want alms from you. So Yashoda was a little surprised, and she said, all right, maybe this Baba needs something else. All this time she was not recognizing that this is Mahadev Shiva. Because as you saw, he had a beard and he was looking very different, like a hermit. So she didn't know, though she was an upasak, a devotee of Shiva herself, but she could not recognize her Lord. So she thought, all right, this Babaji wants something more than just food. So she said, well, I will give you pearls, and I will give you diamonds, and I will give you precious stones. And the Baba said, no, I do not want gems and stones. I want to see the gem which you have inside the house. So Yashoda said, what gem is that? And Shiva said, your baby, your son, Krishna, I want to see him. Now, Yashoda's reaction was very strange. She said, no, I will not show my son to you. Because she suddenly got scared of the whole attire, the whole persona of this Babaji, and thought he is a hermit and he seems to be a very, different kind of a hermit, and he might just take my son away, or some evil may befall him. This is important to note. Sometimes when great benefactions come to us, great blessings come to us, we become suspicious. This also is the play of God. This is what we call Lila. So she said, "No, I will not show my son to you. Take whatever else you want. Take gold, take jewelry." But Shivji kept saying, "No, I do not want that. I just want to see your son." Now, when all this was going on, Krishna, who was inside as an infant, started to cry. And when he started to cry, there was a gopi who came, a very senior gopi, a very senior cowgirl who came there, and she told Yashoda that, "You see, your son Krishna is crying because he also wants to meet this Babaji who is Mahadev himself." And when that Gopika said this, Yashoda became convinced, and she all of a sudden felt that she has made such a grave error of judgment. She has not even recognized her own Lord, Mahadev, who has just come here to bless her son. So then she brought Krishna out, and this picture came into being. And Shivji looked at Krishna, then picked him up, hugged him, and blessed him. So this is a very old story, but the important part is, like I told you, sometimes when benefactions and blessings come our way, we do not straight away recognize them. And we have that expression, a blessing in disguise. Here Shivji was actually in disguise, so we cannot blame Yashoda. Her reaction, which I earlier said, was strange. It was strange because she was a devotee of Mahadev and she did not know Mahadev. But as a mother, her reaction was absolutely correct. A mother has to protect her child, and especially a child like Krishna, who is already being looked for by Kans to, put some harm to him. So her reaction as a mother was correct. Her reaction as a devotee of Mahadev, who has been wanting to have darshan of Mahadev, who has been wanting Mahadev to come and bless her child so that he does not come to any harm whatsoever by anything, leave alone Kans. So Yashoda fell down at Mahadev's feet and said, "I am sorry, forgive me. All my life I have been your devotee and yet I could not recognize you." And of course, Shivji told her, "It is all right. What you did was perfectly all right. You did not know me. I came in a bit of a disguise. And because I just rushed from Kailash and I didn't wear the other things which you may have recognized, so it is all right. And now that I have seen Krishna, everything is all right. It is well." And therefore, this story tells us a great message. The message is also that Gopi, that senior Gopi, who did know that this is Mahadev, even though Yashoda did not know. This is another, sort of secret message in the whole story. It is that we have a saying, "Prarabdh pehle, janam baad mein." The layout of the set of our life is laid out first and then we take birth. So when Krishna was born, this Gopi, who was far senior even to Yashoda, was already there. Because she knew that there will be a day when the Lord Mahadev will come to bless Krishna and Yashoda will not recognize him. And I will have to be the medium who makes them meet. So here we can think of this Gopi, this senior Gopi, as a sort of guide or a guru or someone who shows us the path. That is one secret message. And another message is, if we take Krishna, the baby god inside, who was crying, and therefore all this Leela played out, and finally Shiva could have his darshan, there is another important message. That is that it is the God within, the little baby God within when we are born, who cries out, who searches for the God without the infinite God. It is when we seek our own soul, we seek our own self for divinity, for consciousness, for Mahadev, that we finally get him to us. So when we look within for divinity, and that is the point, we start our search for divinity, and we finally find it. We find it usually within, in dhyana, in samadhi, during meditation, and we call that self-realization. But after we become aware of God residing within us as the Antaryami, we also start seeing him everywhere around us, like Mahadev manifest, Mahadev coming to visit us in everything. I hope you liked this story. Join me again next Monday, and I will be back with another Shiva wisdom for you. Om Namah Shivaya.